it's good feeling, and it's one that our team needed. To go out and do some good things and get a win, and that one's gone. There's a lot of things that we got to learn from it. If we intend to improve, and really, I think a big part of the measure is how you improve from the first game to the next, and usually not always, but that's where you get the biggest amount of improvement. So we're ready to go back to work. Did a little bit yesterday, and obviously tomorrow will be a big day for us, and that's what it's about. Correcting and preparing for an SEC team, and we're excited about that. So, questions?
Raise your hand. We'll get a mic to you. Bob.
Yeah, Chief Chad Phillips on Dorian's situation. I guess first off, how big a relief is it that he's going to be okay when you hear something like that, and then also from a team perspective, how tough is that to lose a guy that probably looked like he was ready for a big senior year?
Well, you really feel for Dorian. He's prepared hard during the off season, and that won't go to waste. He'll have an opportunity to redshirt and be even better next year. But hey, you gotta it happens. In this game, you get injuries, and you gotta get people ready. That's why in the fourth quarter we played a lot of young people. Because if we sit there and don't get them in the game, and then all of a sudden we got to get them in the game, and they hadn't been there, then it's going to be different for them. So, we've talked even back in spring about building depth, and that's a big part of it. Obviously you don't like to lose anybody, but we got to get the next guys ready to go.
Could you describe what the new Ole Miss offensive scheme is about, and have you matched up with Rich Rod in the past?
No, never have, and it's a lot of what we've seen. Very, very, very fast tempo, a lot of zone read. They want to run football. They want to do, that's what they like doing, and to be a good football team, I think that's something that you have to do. But they want to get that done, and certainly use the quarterback in running the football. I don't know as compared to what he did at Arizona, with where they are at quarterback. Certainly they got one that's very talented. He can run, he can throw, he can do all those things. So we expect to see a wide open offense, and I don't think we'll see anything that we hadn't seen at some point in time. But he's been very successful. He's done a tremendous job, and you go back and really one of the guys that kind of got this era of football started. In terms of going fast and a lot of the formations and a lot of the shifts and stuff that we're going to see.
How did Jamario Bell do as far as filling in last
He did fine. He did fine. Nobody played perfect, but he did fine. Did a good job for us, and we got some young kids in there that did as well. And again, we got to prepare them all to get ready. But yeah, he did a good job for us.
Is he your likely starter then Saturday?
Yeah, I would think so, maybe. And I say maybe, but certainly he was the next guy up in the game, and I don't think that'll change.
Coach, it looked like you had a pretty good rotation in the front seven, but mostly went with the starters in the secondary. How did you think those guys performed? It looked like each of them had their moment.
And now, let me repeat that.
So your front seven,
Yeah.
It looked like there was a pretty good
Yeah.
balance of backups and stuff
Yeah.
playing, but it looked like pretty much went with the same four in the secondary. How did you think those guys performed? And it did look like each of them had a moment.
Yeah, I thought very good. Matter of fact, Cam Curl probably played as good as he's played, and singled him out. But I thought we were very solid in the back end. But Cam made a lot of big plays for us, and I kind of expected that, because I think when you start breaking it down in the off season, not that all our kids I think got better, but he probably made the biggest improvement. So I'm not shocked to see him play as well as he did. Now what we got to do is continue.
Yeah, Chief, specifically, what'd you like about what Jamario did, and if he is the starter? I mean, he's an older guy. Do you feel like he's ready for this? And what'd you think of the young guys? I think you played 3 true freshmen, and Chad said Eric Gregory would probably be back this week. How much does that help?
Well, I think, again, Jamario brings some skill that we like, but he's been there before. He played a good bit for us last year. We got to get those young kids ready, and And, that's Soley, that's Williams, that's Gregory, and that's Colin Clay. You'll see those guys play, and we got 4 young guys that, there's a future there. But obviously we need the guys with experience to lead the way, and, but we got to get those 4 young guys ready to go.
Scooter the other night said that y'all kept things pretty simple in that game. Can you explain, like, not showing a lot of different blitzes, or just what?
Well, we did what we do, in terms of game plan, and certainly, we had some concerns with this team that we played. We knew the quarterback, could extend drives with his feet, and we didn't do a very good job of that, as you see. If we had done a better job of that, then we'd have played better. Now, I'm not suggesting that we played poorly. I think we did a lot of things. And the one thing that I want you to make note of, our kids played relentless. Now, did we make mistakes? Absolutely. And that's coaching. We gotta fix that, and we gotta help them. But in terms of effort, if we play that way every week, then it's going to put us in position to win more ball games. I thought, from an effort standpoint, it's as good as I've seen since I've been here.
But I'm sorry, I'm going to bring you back to that second to last drive on defense where you guys did have a lot of the penalties, but played pretty clean aside from that. What happened on that?
Well, we put a lot of young people in the game, and I don't want to single out anybody. We got one guy in there, he got one snap. He went in, he jumped off sides. That was it. But again, that's coaching. Those are things that we can, improve. You don't want that, and that's, our desire is to play penalty free. And I think until that second to the last drive, we only had one penalty, only one. And that, but my point is, all of a sudden it happened, and when it happened, it kind of caught on. And, Coach gave us a timeout, I was hoping we could get things squared away. And, but, even crossed my mind to get our guys back in, but I said, no, we got to get these young guys ready to play. They need the experience. So we left them out there. And, we gave up a play on 4th down that I could have put them in a better call. Or we could have had, one guy that executed his technique a little bit better, but that's on me, like I said. And the one thing I want you to please, understand, our guys played as hard as they played. And now we got to clean up some things. We got to clean up some mental things with them, but we also got to clean up some things, from a technique standpoint that we got to, do a great job of coaching. You remember at the golf course, I told you, the people that, I got to ask what unit was going to be the best unit. And if you remember, I told you it better be coaching. It better be coaching, because that's what we got to do. We got good talent, we got young talent, and we got to continue to coach them and get everything out of them that we can, and they're giving us that right now.
Coach, you've seen a good bit of Rakeem Boyd. What, as a running back, are traits of his that make him a real good back?
I think he's got really good speed. He's got fluid hips. He can change direction. He can stick his foot in the ground and get vertical. And he runs physical, a lot more physical than you think.
One of the guys said in here after the game something about that you not emphasize scrambling quarterbacks last week. I don't know if that sounds accurate to you, but you got another one this week who apparently is pretty good at that.
Someone said that we had not emphasized it?
Yeah.
I don't know where he was. He probably wasn't in the meetings. If he said that, I'm sure he wasn't in the meetings, okay? Because we did, yeah. And it was a priority going in that game, and it'll be a priority this week.
Memphis, I think held Ole Miss to 173. What did Memphis do real well that maybe you guys could glean stuff from?
Well, they did a good job, taking the run away, and early in the game, and then you see Ole Miss come out the second half, and change their game plan a little bit, and they got after them a little bit in the second half. Most of what the yardage they got was in the second half, and they came out and made some adjustments in their game plan. Coaches did a great job, and the players responded to it. So, and it's a chess match all the time. You got the correct game plan, and they had a good game plan going in. But good teams are going to make you change, and you better be ready to adjust. Thank you, guys.